Gentlemen, welcome back. Hang on a second. There's something I want to show you that I just got, and I'm kind of excited to unbox it. Welcome back to the Tiege Hanley starting. Wait a second. Where? There it is. Right there. Okay. Welcome back to the Tiege Hanley starting a business, building a brand vlog. This one, big number 325, and I just received a package from Tiege, and I actually would like to crap. It's big. I would like to open it and show you what I don't even know what I got. Actually, I have an idea, but ooh, you want All right, so the deal is Tiege Hanley is about to have kind of like a merch section of our website, and so we got different merch sent to me so that I could take pictures of me wearing it. And we're going to put it up on our website. But I just want to give you a little sneak peek, and this is something I'm so excited about. It is the Tiege Hanley Uncomplicated Trucker Hat, right? Should I actually, no, my hair, I'm actually having a pretty good hair day. Uncomplicated Trucker Hat. What else do we got in here? Yep, oh, no way. Oh, this is so sick. I don't know if we're actually selling this, but I'm excited for it. And that is... right? Tiege Hanley Beanie. What? This is actually really nice. All right, hold on. What else do I have? Dop kit. This is a body puff. What else is this? This is I'm not sure. Is this a Tiege hydro flask? Are you kidding me? This is old school. Tiege Hanley coffee mug I've been rocking now. This was a gift, I think, for Christmas. Super nice. Always popular Tiege Hanley Uncomplicated t-shirt. And what else do I got here? Oh yes. Hoodie. This bad boy is thick. It's awesome. Is there anything else in my box? Oh yeah. Some products. And what is this? Balls. Wonder what that's for. Anyway, all right. So excited about this. I can't wait to rock all my new Tiege gear, and we're gonna, like I said, have a merch section to the dashboard. So when you log into your dashboard, you can go, and if you want to grab any Tiege merch, it's going to be available. We are close to launching it. I got to take pictures, but I'm really excited about this. Anyway, something I'm not excited about. Actually, I am excited about it, and I want to talk about it today, and that is Enemy, and the fact that I am officially discontinuing a ton of styles. Every single pair of large sunglasses, they gotta go. Not every single, and then, let's see, I would say probably 8 additional regular sizes are gonna be going. So let me back up real quick. I don't wanna spend a ton of time on this, but this is something that has been a problem for me, and that is Enemy. The biggest problem, as you guys know that have been around for a while, is that when I made these sunglasses, the original idea was that I was going to sell them at a $150 price point, which was still about half price of what they would sell for if they were, just if I was a regular brand and I was selling sunglasses of this quality. Just to remind you, the lenses are Zeiss, which are top of the line. Very expensive to actually make a Zeiss, lens for sunglasses. The Italian acetate also, super premium, spring hinges, everything I did for these sunglasses, I did for me because I wanted to wear a super sexy pair of sunglasses and I want them to be really high quality. We also custom designed all of the styles. And originally, I thought, all right, I'm going to only do 3 styles, right? Enemy 1s, 2s, and 3s, done, come out with a few different variations, and that's good, right? That's a solid, brand. Well, I was wrong, honestly, and I've got to fix it. And I've also am in the process of fixing the entire kind of the brand itself and retooling, blowing up, and moving in a different direction, which I think is absolutely needed. So anyway, long story short, when I made these originally, they were going to be selling for $150. I made them really high quality. The downside is that when I decided to actually drop my price to under $100, that was straight margin that I lost, right? And the other thing that I've mentioned before is that these sunglasses are not $10. They're not $20. They are expensive to make. And when I was looking at, actually, hang on, somebody's here. So anyway, hang on, I just wanted to see what's in this bad boy. I'm developing a new fragrance, a 5th fragrance for the Pete and Pedro line, and this one, hang on, is, actually, hang on, I'm dying to smell this. Ooh, that's good. Oh, hang on. That's really good. I think I might have found it. All right, I've been doing all sorts of testing with new fragrances, and you know the drill. I go super premium in terms of I find one that I love, and I make my version inspired by for Pete and Pedro. And this one is really. Hang on a second. It's pretty good. It's really good. But I got a few others that are really good too. Anyway, tough decisions. Something else that was a tough decision was deciding that I needed to eliminate a ton of styles and basically dead inventory from Enemy. All right, so one of the this I actually could probably spend an hour talking about this. There's a lot of stuff happening. We are totally blowing up the website. We have a new design. We have a lot of new technology that's going to allow people to try on virtually the sunglasses. That is the best technology I've ever seen. I have tried, a bunch of other sunglass companies, sort of like virtual try on stuff, and it always kind of sucked. The stuff that we got is next level. We also hired, this past weekend, we hired a bunch of models to actually come in. We had a studio in the UK. Paul McGregor, my guy for Enemy, he set everything up. We sent him all the sunglasses. We had a huge photo shoot, all new pictures of all the inventory. But what we did, or what I've been doing over the course of the past probably 3 months, is really analyzing the sunglass industry. Enemy is a great brand, and I feel like it's super strong, and our styles are sexy. Much sexier than companies like Blenders or Shady Rays or any of these other kind of cheesy. A lot of these sunglass companies are super cheesy, right? But when I was looking at what they're doing in terms of sales, it's unbelievable. Like millions and millions and millions of dollars per month. I'm like, wait a second, what the fuck? Like, my stuff is higher quality, it looks better, my website kind of sucks, but is that the reason? Have I not figured out that mechanism? Have I not figured out that sales mechanism like they did? And the answer is no, I didn't. And so after doing a bunch of research, talking to our vendor, trying to figure things out, pretty much figured out that 98% of the sunglasses that I sell at Enemy are the regular standard sizes. In an attempt to help other people and people that would get them and be like, oh, we need a larger size, I actually made a larger size in a lot of the frames. Almost like, I guess probably like, there are probably 8 different frames that are the large size. And they're only large by a little bit. But when we looked at the numbers, it was like 98% of people are buying the regular size. 2% are buying this larger size. And carrying this inventory for this larger size glass, it's like, why am I stupid? Why am I doing that? Why am I trying to satisfy everybody and carrying all this inventory? It's smarter of me to actually get rid of those, and that's what we're doing. We literally we're eliminating over the course of the next 3 months all of the large sizes. I have chopped the price 50% off. And I'm even allowing discounting to be done. I'm just trying to move these out and get whatever revenue, or not revenue, because I'm not making money on these at this point, whatever money I can get back. I just need to acquire or get rid of them and acquire sort of my cash that I have invested in these large sizes. So in the next 3 months, I'm moving this inventory, getting it out of there, because I'm not even wasting the money trying to build this page that it would require for the new website, all right? Something else I'm doing is adding styles. What all of these other brands do is they've got seasonal launches, right? Oh, here are 2 new styles, 2 new styles. Every brand except me was doing seasonal launches. These are the new styles for spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I wasn't doing that. I was like, no, I'm just having the Enemy 1s and the 2s and the 3s. And then I was like, okay, well, let me try one more larger size. And we got the Enemy 4s, which have been very popular. But I need to start coming out with more styles. Now, I'm not going to order a lot of inventory. I'm going to order a little bit of inventory, probably about 200 units of each style and color. So what I mean by that is if I came out where I am, they're already being manufactured. The Enemy 5, right? I'm going to have 2 different colors of the Enemy 5 in a standard size. And then the Enemy 6s, Two different colors in the Enemy 6s, and only like 200 of each. When they sell out, they're gone. And this is something that I had not done, right? Obviously, I've not done this. I tried to go really wide in a style as opposed to deeper in terms of styles. And this was a mistake, because when I really look at the numbers, it's almost upsetting how the majority, and this is like business, right? Like 80% of your business is from like 20% of the what is the saying? When I really just analyzed everything, and it's about the numbers, it's about really looking at things, which I had not done. I would just reorder when things were low or out of stock. I was doing a bad job. And so I have all of this like inventory that I'm carrying in these products that just don't move or cycle through. And it's expensive. I would rather cut my options to 3 of the Enemy 1s, 3 of the Enemy 2s, 3 of the Enemy 3s and 4s. And then instead of using the money in order to buy like more like options like matte black gradient lens, matte black silver with solid black lens, tortoise with like instead of going like all these different iterations of a specific style, instead I should be doing seasonal launches of new styles, new colors, and limiting it so that it's not unlimited. And when we really analyze the market in some of these bigger brands, that is what they're all doing. The manufacturer that I use makes a ton of the brands. They make a lot of the premium brands like the Tom Fords and like some of these other like really high like end brands. But then they also make things like Oakley, Shady Rays, blenders. Like they make a lot of these as well. And so we had a call with them and said, all right, so what are they doing different than us? Where is their price point? Because they cannot be selling the same quality glasses I am. I know that they're not. How do we lower our costs? So anyway, long story short, lots of talks with the manufacturer, and we figured out a way to get the cost down by about $8 to $10, which is huge. And that is a lot of margin in terms of marketing and advertising without sacrificing quality. One of the only differences though is the Zeiss lenses. You know, it's an expensive lens. The other downside to Zeiss is that the lead time to get the lenses is about 3 months, and it's gotten worse. And so for us to be able to create styles and basically do launches every like season, we need to get that lead time down. And the other thing I had them do, I'm like, all right, we went over like the variations or the options in terms of reducing costs. I said, fine, but just send them to me. Like, I don't know, I need to see them, I need to feel them, I need to look through them, I need other people to see them and feel them and compare. And I got a sample, and guess what? I couldn't tell the fucking difference. I can't find my glasses. So good news, I literally have 100 pairs of glasses after all the Glass USA promotions. And so, what do you think? A little darker? Huh? Anyway. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about your business questions. All right, let me see. Okay, Shane, you're back. And I haven't read this yet, but I'm assuming this is going to make me think a little bit, which is dangerous. Part of being an entrepreneur is navigating ambiguity. Ambiguity. Potholes. Problems do not come with neon signs. No, they don't. But you need to prevent problems from happening in the first place as much as possible. Do you have any advice to help develop the skills to become more proactive in recognizing potential issues? This is a great question. Okay, so, all right. So basically, you are always going to have problems that arise, right? As you can see, I just basically spent a lot of time talking about some problems that arise with Enemy. But it happens with every business. In terms of identifying the problems that before they kind of really become like a big thing, I guess listening to your customers, right? Because that's one of the things that I think a lot of people don't put enough effort or emphasis in, right? And this is something that I fell into, a trap that I've fallen into in other businesses, right? You get so blinded by your goals, your ideas, and what you think is right, that even if a customer says, I don't like this, or this is wrong, or whatever, you're like, whatever. And then some people, like, this is a big thing, right? Some people will be like, all right, well, what's the percentage of people that bitch? Or what's the percentage of issues out of the total? And this is something that you definitely should be aware of. Because, percentages are something where are you going to really retool everything for like 1 out of 100, right? If you get 99 people saying it's awesome, it's awesome, it's awesome, it's great, one person says it sucks, is that enough to say like, should I change things? Yeah, probably not. But if 5 out of 100, 10 out of 100, there comes a point at which you've got to figure out what that number is. But you've got to make sure that you listen to your audience because they are on your side. They put out their hard-earned cash to buy what you're selling, and they believe in you. And so this is something, number one, that you've got to make sure that you do. Do not be so blinded by your ideas and what you think is right that you're going to ignore obvious kind of like flashing signs. Not neon, but it's definitely something. If multiple people are saying there's a problem, there's probably a problem. The other thing is look at the numbers, look at the data. What does the data tell you? And this is something that every business that I have has figured out at different points or different times. It was always just sell, right? For me, I'm a sales machine. That's what I do. I sell, I sell, I sell. And so as long as sales are good, you can excuse a lot of other things, but once sales slow or you start looking at the bottom line because profit is the thing that you really need to focus on. It's not how much you sell, it's how much you keep, right? If the numbers are looking a little bit funky, the earlier you can identify this, the better off you're going to be. So from day one, when it comes to anything you do that requires money, whether or not it's an employee, whether or not it's software, whether or not it's advertising, marketing, that is the place. Marketing is going to be the big kind of like black hole, or it can be. You can spend a ton of money thinking something's working, and if you hire an agency, agencies are notorious for blowing smoke up your ass and massaging and manipulating and be like, oh, no, all the sales are from us. All that organic stuff, don't worry about that. It's not from that, it's from us. And our CPA, look how amazing it is. They are notorious bullshitters. Marketing is one of the toughest and hardest things. Employees, another one, right? If it doesn't feel right, chances are it's not right. You've got to be honest with yourself. Bad hires happen. Identifying them quickly as possible and not going down the rabbit hole of we're just going to keep them because it's the lesser of all evils. Evil's evil. And that's one of the things that, I've had to realize and we've had to realize is that we have kept people around that should have been gone before we ended up leaving them go because it was hard to, it was going to be uncomfortable. Anytime you have somebody leave, it's going to be uncomfortable. The salon, right? My God, another example, like you gotta keep your eyes open. You go into every decision thinking that it's the best decision possible. But once you make that decision, you've got to revisit it. You've got to come back and look at it to make sure that decision was actually right. This is an incredible question, Shane, and I don't know that I answered it, but you've got to understand that there is no one-size-fits-all solution to the problems you're going to have come up. And sometimes you'll be doing something for a while you'll think is the right solution, and then all of a sudden, once you analyze and look at things, or the landscape changes, like COVID, you got to relook at things, right? And just always be paying attention to that bottom dollar, right? That bottom line. What do the numbers tell you? It's not how much you keep, or it's not, I should say, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And if it's not moving in the right direction, something is wrong. Speaking of wrong, nothing wrong about this bad boy. It's good. The next question comes from our friend Christopher Holman. What's up, brother? Thanks for being here. He says, what would you consider to be the best way to obtain enough capital, cash, to start investing in real estate or business ideas? By best, I guess the most realistic, time effective. I don't know. This is an amazing question. The question is basically, how do you make a lot of money? Because that's essentially what you're asking. Most realistic and time effective way. I don't know. I have not figured out that. If any of you, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, Bitcoin, crypto. I get it, right? Everybody's super excited about crypto. It could be good, it could be bad. Here's one of the other things you just need to understand is even if you find like an investment that's going to pay you like a great amount of money, if you take that money out, you got to pay capital gains tax on that money, whatever it is. Whether or not it's long-term or short-term, that is a different story. But, I think Man, this is a great, how do you get enough capital to start investing in real estate? I would probably say, for me, the way that I did it was I saved up a bit of money, right? I saved up a little bit of money. And the way that you save money is you make sure that you live below your means, right? That is the one thing, I guess that's where you got to start. It's about resetting sort of your financial situation or landscape, all right? Living below your means is the number one thing that you can do that it's going to facilitate or afford you extra cash to do something with. If you're spending more than you should be, you're never going to get there. You're never going to acquire enough money to put a down payment on a piece of real estate or have enough money to, go to a bank and be like, hey, I got 100,000, I got 20,000, will you lend me whatever? And so living below your means is the number one thing. The two areas that I would recommend you really take a hard look at is where you live and what you drive. Those two things are what we spend like 70% of our monthly income on. And so driving a less nice car, living in a less nice place, guys, moving back in with your parents or whatever you need to do. It's about paying down your debt. The other thing is, if you've got a bunch of high interest credit card debt, that's another thing that you need to whack down, right? Now, can you save and pay that down at the same time? Yeah, but you just really got to look at your budget and make sure that you are resetting and reallocating money accordingly and in better areas. And so this is a hard question though, but I guess that's kind of what I did, right? I lived below my means, well below my means. I saved as much money as I could. I drove my Infinity. I mean, my Infinity was like 10 years old. It was paid off in like 3 years. And, it was starting to get a little bit of age on it. I could have afforded to get a nicer car, but I knew that I wanted to buy, real estate and things like that. So I drove it for a long time. And yeah, living below my means. And then I took that money, I went to a bank, I found a property. I said, hey, will you give me a loan? They're like, yeah. Do you have a down payment? Yes, I do. If you're going to buy your house, that's another thing. If you have a place that you want to live at or your own home, the down payment requirements are going to be less. You can get a mortgage for your personal residency easier than you can for an investment property. And so use that, right? You get your house, maybe it'll appreciate, and then you can refinance, pull some cash out, maybe invest there. I mean, there's a lot of ways to skin this cat, but in terms of how to take your money and grow it really quickly, I don't know how to do that because I've never been able to do that. So this next question, it's a good one. It's from our friend Nikola Zadrevsky. I totally suck at names. Anyway, this one is a great question. I'm going to read the whole thing because, all right. When touring your office space, and if you guys missed the video I did, and the reason why there are a bunch of like real estate questions here, last vlog was all about, I took you on a tour of the real estate assets that I own and what my kind of strategy is behind making money on them. If you missed that one, it's a good one to watch. I rewatched it probably 3 times and I learned something actually. So anyway, when touring your office space, you mentioned that you put the thought out there into the universe that someday I'm going to be in this building. While this worked out for you thanks to your commitment and hard work, oftentimes it doesn't, i.e. your fitness center. How do you learn to cope with the idea of letting go, especially when at times you're so emotionally, financially, physically invested in something that you truly believe in and is your dream? I'm finding it difficult to do that with myself and would appreciate the advice. This question, man, this is an amazing question and one that I love. The hardest thing for me with that fitness center was that was my dream literally since the age of like 12. And it's like, okay, everything I did up until that point was trying to make that a success. Everything I did was trying to make that work. The only reason, if I'm being honest, the only reason that I let that go is because I had no other choice. I didn't have any other resources. I was broke as hell. I was bankrupt. Like, I couldn't make that work. If I could have, I've said this before, if I could have sold organs, my kidney, in order to have just 20 more thousand to just dump on that dumpster fire, I would have done it because that was the only thing I knew. And it scared me. It was scary and the scariest thing was that I didn't know what my next version of success looked like. That was it. That was the only thing. And so when you're desperate, when you're in really desperate situations like that, you make bad financial decisions. But there is, it's a balancing act. When is it enough? Like, when is enough enough? And Kevin O'Leary, this is something that he always says, 3 years, that's the time. If something hasn't worked, or you're not seeing significant trajectory or like wins along that time, in 3 years, it's time to try something else. But when you're so emotionally, financially, and physically tied to something, it's the hardest thing in the world to do. At least it was for me. I literally just had to. I couldn't not. It wasn't like if I tried just a little bit harder, if I just, I was out of options. And so that was the only decision. I would never have closed it down. I would never have stopped if I had more runway. Thank God I didn't, because I've said this before, but success doesn't always look like what you hope it will or expect it to. And so for me, I was out of options, and that's I can't, it smells really good. I lost my train of thought. But I don't know when it's time. I don't know how, but 3 years, it sounds like a good time frame to me, but who knows? Maybe 3 years and a month is enough time, and that's when things would turn around. I guess it's really just about being honest with yourself and maybe seeking outside counsel, somebody that's not close to you. I've often said that you need really good friends that are willing to tell you the hard truth and the reality, and not just what you want to hear, what you need to hear. Or I should say what you want to hear. They need to tell you what you need to hear. Because too often we surround ourselves with people that are like, no, it's great, it's going to work out, or good job, like whatever, right? When they really need to say, yo, your idea is fucking stupid, right? I needed people around. Anyway, I needed to go through this, right? And I'm twisting, I'm modifying, I'm changing. But this is an incredibly hard question to answer, and one that only you can answer. But I wish you the best of luck. But like I said, just be aware that sometimes when the universe shuts the door, I should say shuts the door, they open a window. You just got to know and be smart enough to jump out of the burning building when it's time. It's just so effing fabulous. Is that it? It's one of the options. Anyway, this one's good though. The next business question, Dustin Blankus. Dude, I've answered this. You need to watch every vlog. I already answered this question, and it's about college. He wants to start a t-shirt company. It's like a vlog ago, 2 vlogs ago, like go watch, because I answer your question. You didn't watch long enough. And Dustin, come on, shame on you. How could you miss an episode of the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog? This one, big number, 325. Can you believe I've been doing this 325 weeks in a row? The next business question is another impossible one to answer. It's from Mohammed Ishak. He says, hey Alpha, I want to start a business, but I'm clueless on what kind of business I want to start. I'm a fresh graduate. What's your advice? I don't know. You got to figure out what moves you, what you're excited about, what will potentially work. If a good place to start, I would say, is Google, businesses to start for $1,000, businesses to start for $5,000, $10,000. Like, there are a lot of different lists out there that might give you some ideas. If there's something that you're interested in, it's always definitely something to focus on. But you're how old? You're fresh graduate. I'm not sure if that's high school or college. I'm assuming it's high school. Keep your eyes open, go to school, go to college, or go to some type of continuing education and learn basic skills and business. I would say a business degree is probably a good place to start if you want to be an entrepreneur. And then along your journey, you're going to start figuring it out or testing and trying things. You and Dustin Blankus need to get together and start a t-shirt company. Anyway, good luck though. And it's exciting. You've got the world. I should say the world is your oyster. All right, the next business question is from our friend Trey Quillen. Alpha, would you ever start a company that invests in other people's small businesses, almost like your own Shark Tank? All right, you haven't watched all my vlogs. Area627.com is a business. I did start a business that does invest in small startups. You got to be doing at least $100,000 a year. $10,000 a month is a rough estimate. We would take a little bit lower than that, but not much lower than that. You've got to prove that you've actually figured out how to make $100,000 a year. That, to us, is a real business. It's myself, Eric Banholtz, Ryan Masters, and Antonio Centeno, who misses more meetings than he actually attends. So I think we're about to kick him out. I'm kidding. We love Antonio. Area627.com, link below if you want to submit or Check it out. There are a lot of comments on this last vlog about investing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. All I gotta say is be careful. Be careful. If it sounds too good to be true, what I have found for myself is it is. And just be careful. You gotta figure out what people's motivations are. Why are they telling you to do whatever they are telling you to do? The other tip of advice I will give you, and I'm not saying not to invest in crypto, I'm just saying you gotta be careful. And when somebody's trying to sell you something, what is their motivation? The other thing I will tell you, and the place that I would like to leave you, and by the way, if you've got a business question down below, start it with business question and ask it. Next week, I will try to answer more of them. I always do. I should try to get to a few of them. Sometimes I monopolize the vlog more than others, but some of these vlogs lately have been a little bit long, right? And if you dig it, why don't you drop me one of these? My closing words of investment advice. Never invest more than you can endure losing. Not comfortable losing, endure losing. I am personally not comfortable losing $1, but you've got to understand that chances are you may lose money and you may lose it all. It sucks. Every time you lose a little bit of money, it sucks. Every time you log into your account and you're like, oh shit, it's down 50%, it's down 30%, it's down 20%. You got to be able to endure it. Can you endure losing everything that you've invested? If the answer is no, you got to think about it, because investing is one of those things. If it was easy, if it was safe, everybody would be a gazillionaire, but there's risk associated with it. You've just got to make sure whatever you invest and whatever you invest in, if it goes to zero and like never comes back, you got to be able to financially endure that situation. That is my closing word and advice that I give to myself. Gentlemen, we love you more than our double monk strap shoes. Thank you for everything. And see, like seriously, this Tiege merch is nuts.